It's Christmas time. And Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the bullfrog and the one and only Newt.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
It's a great present for us, and his face will be a great present to you. Christmas is here, or going to be, or if you're just someone watching this in the random part of the year, because, hey, YouTube, Merry Christmas still. In a weird way, but that's not what we're talking about. Well, actually, that is what we're talking about. We're talking about Christmas. And here in the pond, we celebrate Christmas in the sense of celebrating these magical moments of humanity. Our first year, we did the Christmas truce, where it wasn't generals, but it was average men who did that on both sides. And the second year, we did the Candy Bombers, one of my favorite stories of all time. Top 5 this year. This magical moment that we're going to talk about. The original source we wanted to use, I couldn't find. I remember seeing a documentary about Ray Charles' life. And there's this beautiful, awesome moment. And I can't find it anymore. I can't find that documentary. But as luck will have it, even though I can't find that one, there's another source we can use and quote and pull from. And it's from The Muppets Tribute to Jim Henson.
Who's Jim Henson?
If you want to talk about childhood and nostalgia, these guys are in my baker's dozen of nostalgia names. And there's a magical moment that happened in human history. Ray Charles and Jim Henson met. In the documentary of the Muppets Tribute to Jim Henson, one of Jim Henson's most iconic, beautiful songs is It Ain't Easy Being Green. In that part of that documentary you can find on YouTube, who tells us about the words and the magic and meaning behind it is the icon, Ray Charles himself. He's talking about it. And how did this happen? In that documentary that we can't really pull as a source from Ray Charles' side, I can only go off my memory, so this is a third-party source, kind of, but this is off my memory. In that documentary, it talked about how Ray heard the words in the other room, and he went up and said, "Who wrote that?" And one of his friends were going, "This is a kid's show. Why are you so pumped up?" And he goes, No, listen to the words. And from my memory, Ray Charles took that first step. Ray Charles was the one that put these two together. But again, this is my memory of a documentary. But we have the second documentary. And here's what Ray says. And again, this is from the documentary of Tribute to Jim Henson. I'm saying this for copyright reasons, and Ray Charles is a legend.
Jim Henson took a simple song and a piece of felt and turned it into a moment of great power. You know, the song says, it's not easy being green, but the song is about knowing who you are. And in it you can hear Jim's message loud and clear. We should learn to love who we are and be proud of it. And that's the way we learn to love each other.
He saw those words. And you saw what we just pulled up. The man saw love and unity. And a step happened that was amazing. Because in the late 60s, Ray and Kermit sang this song. You can find it on YouTube, like many things. But there's something special with this song of that time. We can't play the song for copyright reasons, but we can show you the ending. Take a look. Nothing's impossible. During that time, when American history, at that moment, this was about equal rights. This was about the black and white situation of America at that time. Yet, Ray Charles and Jim Henson said nothing's impossible. Two men, two titans. During that time period, they were still titans. Ray Charles lived on to be one of the greatest icons that came from America, but the world fell in love with him. And same with Jim Henson. That man is just an icon for the world. And these two men said during the time of strife, nothing is impossible. And I know in the world right now, it doesn't feel like that. How can you say there can be such magic? Well, let me pull words from another American icon. Now, he has a very famous song that we all love. Well, I really love a lot. There is a different version of this song where it has these words before he sings. And I want to read them to you. And these are words from the Satchmo himself. Hey, Pops, what do you mean, what a wonderful world? How about them wars all over the place? You call them wonderful? And how about hunger and pollution? They ain't so wonderful either. How about listen to old Pops for a minute? It seems to me it ain't the world that ain't so bad, but what we are doing to it. And all I'm saying is, see what a wonderful world it would be if we only give it a chance. Love, baby. Love, that's the secret. Yes. If there's lots more love of us, loved each other, we'd solve lots more problems. And then this world would be a better. That's why all Pops keep saying. Louis Armstrong. And I want to talk about a quote that really affected my life about the same level of impossibility. I was young and brash, and my older brother, the oldest, went to me face to face, and he said, Bullfrog, there are two boys, one in America and one in Cuba. The boy in America was in a wheelchair looking at his legs and saying, I can't do anything. Then there's that boy in Cuba who only has a skateboard to move. He has no legs at all. And yet he's playing soccer with his friends. Now tell me, who do you think is having fun? It doesn't matter where you are, or who you are, or where you are in the world. You can be in the lowest places or in the highest building. Doesn't matter your skin color. But it doesn't mean that is the end. Jim Henson, Ray Charles, and what I've read from Louis Armstrong, we can make it better, no matter what our situation is. We gotta strive to stand tall and bring love and respect. For there is no difference really between us. No matter who you are, we all bleed red. There's iron in our blood. And as we end the channel for Christmas, I want to do a little poetry corner. I am not a good singer, but these words do need to be heard. I know it's been done many times, but let's hear them still. I see trees of green, red roses too. I seen them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a sun devil have? We got to consider that.
Nothing's impossible.
Merry Christmas!